Liftoff will start in T-minus 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
It's time! Seconds from game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan, open, Chicago with the lead! Behind the screen, Harper got a piece of it, it comes off. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship. Tying run at second, 2 out, Palmero, over the head of Jenks, Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
To the far side around the 8-yard line to Hester. Under it, and to the middle of the 15, to the 20, breaks free of the 25, to the 30, to the outside, 40, midfield, 40, 30 to the post, 20, 15, Hester 5.
For the 3rd time in 6 seasons, it's one goal achieved. The Chicago Blackhawks win the Stanley Cup. A little bouncer slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it through to Rizzo. It's in time, and the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to ShawnSierraSports on Sports Zone Chicago. I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, then I guess you found us on Facebook. And if you're not following us on Facebook, what? Come on, go to Facebook, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the like button, and now you're following Sports Zone Chicago. Simple. But wait, there's more. There's more. Make sure you go to our YouTube page. If you're watching us on our YouTube page, excellent. And if you're not subscribed to our YouTube page, for real, come on, guys. Go to YouTube, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the subscribe button, but also click the notification button. That's the little bell next to it, and that'll let you know anytime the show from Sports Zone Chicago is going live. Get it? Got it? Good. Now, you can also tweet the show. You can tweet us at Sports Zone Shy. That's CHI at Sports Zone Shy. Now, if you want to follow me, just me personally online, you want to know what I did? Let me tell you what I did. I made it nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy. One handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. All one handle at the Shawn Sierra. Man, I got a great show, but I need you to get interactive. So whatever platform you're watching us on, leave a question or comment on that platform. It'll come up here in the thread. We'll put it up on the screen. We'll incorporate it into the show. And that, my peoples, is what makes this the best morning Chicago sports talk show around. And that's you. So bring them all, baby. Questions, comments, smart-ass remarks, because ain't nobody scared over here. Like The Rock said, baby, don't sing it. Just bring it. Yeah, let's check the chat because the chat is jumping already. That's what I'm talking about. Cornelius Squad, what up, what up, what up? ShawnSierraSports fans, another victory chain Monday. You got it, baby. You see it. You see it. I'm rocking it. We're 2-2 at the bye. I'll take it. Yes, I'll take it as well. And shit, we should be 3-1. Let's keep it a buck. Mr. Southside himself, Michon. What's up? Good morning on a victory Monday. Bear down, FGB, Michon. Big House, what's up, Papa? How are you, man? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. My man Armando Emeterio Lara Jr. is in the house. Junior, what up, Papa? Thank you for tuning in, man. I appreciate you. Thank you, sir. Foster Covers is in the house. What's up, Papa? How are you? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Jay Grizz checking in from the East Coast. Check what's up, Papa. Good morning and happy Victory Chain Monday, you lousy Bear fans. I'll be starting your stuff already, Jay Grizz. I love it. Oh, man. My man Rick Gonzalez in the house. Buenos dias, fool. Chiba hits a little different on Bears Victory Monday. I bet it does. Bear the F down and FGB. Oh, we're getting lit already. I love it. Oh, my man, King Booker World checking in. Says salute everyone at Shawn's. Booker World, King Booker World, what's up? Man, Hal said, I didn't see the game. How did QB1 look? He looked okay. He didn't play spectacular, but you know what? When we needed it, he stepped up. when we needed it, he stepped up. I can't wait to go over the film, break down the film tomorrow. That I'm going to look at because there was a couple of times I think DJ was open. He's missing receivers. And you know how I feel about that. And you know what my conspiracy theory on him and DJ is, but whatever. Levette Lee checking in. She goes, happy House Music Monday, y'all. Good morning, Levette. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Cornelia says, good morning, Armando. I love these Victory Chain Mondays. I'm telling you, baby, I was fired up. Where's Bishop's not in the house. No, Bishop's not in the house, Junior. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, I am fired up, man. We got a great show for you today, my man. My man's in them. You know, I only got a couple guys that I say my man's in them. Ken Davis. Ken Davis is going to join us at 10 o'clock, talk all this Bear stuff. There was a Chicago block party out in Vegas yesterday, and I was all for it, baby. I was all for it. So Ken Davis is going to join us at 10 o'clock to talk. But let's not get it twisted. There's a lot of excitement, a lot of happiness going on. But let's not get it twisted. There's still a lot for us to work on. Okay? But I'll tell you what, I'm celebrating that W. I'm celebrating that dub. All right, it was ugly. But this ain't college. You don't get moved up and down for style points. Did you win or did you lose? It's literally black and white. Did you win or lose? Okay? The Bears came out with an ugly win yesterday. Man, they're reverting back to my 83 White Sox winning ugly. But you know what? The most important thing is? Winning. Winning. That first game, man, that Minnesota game, I was talking to someone yesterday at CrossFit. I think so. Yeah, I was talking to my guy Ray. I said that first game is going to bite us in the ass. We're going to go back, especially if we just missed the playoffs. We're going to say game one against the Minnesota Vikings. That's the one that got us. That's the one that's going to be a thorn in our side all year long. Think about it, guys. We should be 3-1 right now. We should be 3-1 right now with a quarterback learning a new offense, new scheme, receivers, new players, new regime. We should be 3-1 right now. But I'll take 2-2. I will gladly take 2-2. Gladly. House says I agree on that conspiracy theory. Yeah, he did. Jay Grinn's getting in on the FJB, baby. FGB. I said FJB. What the hell's wrong with me? FGB, baby. You're damn right. Mr. Southside himself says a win is a win. Jay Grizz, yep. A dub is a dub. I hear you. See, the vet, stop. Stop with the nonsense. See, she said, go, Cubs, go. You're damn right. Don't care how we got it. We earned it. Even if you didn't play well. And people say you didn't earn a win. No, you earned a win. And blocking a kick is not a fluke. Okay? There was a lot of study in your special teams. And apparently the long snapper noticed a hitch in the long snapper of the Raiders. This is what I was hearing. And so they worked on. They had in practice, you work on that same hitch that the upcoming snapper has to get a better get off. And boy, did Josh Blackwell, his new name is Josh Blackwell, not Josh Blackwell. Did Josh Blackwell get off on that boy? And he was flying through the air with the greatest of ease. Jay Grizz, I don't know about 0-4, but we definitely have 3 losses. Maybe 4. You could be right. Jay Grizz said, I'm proud of this team. We would be 0-4 with last year's staff. I don't know about 0-4, but man. Yeah, I think last week's game would have been a gimme. Man, you know what? You're right. I shouldn't even say that. The staff was tough last year. But Caleb, let's not forget, Caleb showed a lot of grit last year himself, leading us to scoring drives toward the end of halves and end of games last year with the crap staff. But you know what? We don't have to do revisionist history. That staff's gone. We got this one here, and I'm happy about this staff. Happy about this staff. Yes, Mr. Southside, Josh Blockwell. That is it. Rick says, so you're saying coaching matters. No, somebody else said that. Somebody much smarter than me said that one time. FGB. Win pretty, win ugly. Just win. That's all that matters. King Booker World, that's all that matters. Because you know what yesterday did? It gave them more confidence. That's what it did. That's what it did. It gave them more confidence. Yeah, number 98 is a Mickey Ficky problem. That boy can play. That boy good. That boy good. Man, I'll tell you this. We were talking about this on a Smoke Fellas. Because it seems like your boy Caleb has decided not to throw to DJ. Okay? Because all DJ does is catch damn near all of his targets, but that's another story. My question is this. If a trade came up, say DJ for, and mind you, I don't want to trade DJ. DJ is my favorite receiver on the team. He's the best receiver on the team. He's my favorite receiver on the team. But if a trade scenario came up where we traded DJ for Max Crosby, man. Yeah, he signed so this is what Max Crosby signed. Max Crosby signed a 3-year, $106.5 million extension this year in March. All right. $91 million guaranteed. Keeps him through the 2029 season. That's pretty close to what DJ Moore's contract. 2029. Excuse me. It'll keep him through the 2029 season as well. Because apparently he doesn't want to throw it to him. I don't know what that's all about, but whatever. Cornelius, that is an understatement. Komet didn't have his best game, but he continued to block his ass off. Yeah, you got to come down with those, man. And he'll be the first to tell you he had a bad game. He'll be the first to tell you. All right? And it was evident. He had a couple drops, a couple penalties, and inopportune time. Not that a penalty is ever – it's an opportune time to have a penalty against us. But, 4th and 1, flinch. Now 4th and 5, you got to punt. However, on that 4th and 1, where Komet flinched and went to 4th and 6, and we punted. That's the punt that we got. We got him pinned back deep. So was it a blessing in disguise? I don't know. From all looks of it, it was. I'm just saying. I'm fired up. Fired up. Big win yesterday. Those of you who followed me on Facebook saw I was at Branding Iron. And, man, we were going nutso. What was funny was I was with my guy Hirsch. And he had people. Well, I had people at the game too, but his cousin was at the game. And his cousin was texting us stuff. And I'm like, dude, tell your cousin to stop texting us. And Junior was about a play ahead of me. So just for you guys who don't know, live action to the TV is about 2 plays ahead. All right, because you got to edit and everything. In case anything happens, you have to be able to nip it before it gets on air. So it's about 2 plays ahead. All right. Well, we were watching it was streaming. So it was even further behind. When you're streaming, it's another play or so behind. And I was telling Junior yesterday, like, dude, like, you're a play ahead of me. Don't tell me. So he would wait, before we text in the thread. And then my guy Hirsch, I'm like, dude, let me know. I said, you gotta, don't look at your phone. He's like, yeah. All of a sudden he looks when they're kicking the field. They're kicking the field. Goes, oh my God, I looked. I'm like, what? He's like, I can't tell you, but I don't know why I looked. I don't know why I looked. And he ran to the front of the big screen. He didn't say nothing to me. I'm like, oh, you son of a gun. What happens? What happens? And it blocked, and we went nuts. He goes, I can't believe I looked at it. Jason from the UK checking in from across the pond. I appreciate it, sir. Thank you for tuning in. Oh, man, it was great. So we got that to talk. Like I said, 10 o'clock, my man Ken Davis is going to join us. We're going to continue this conversation. End of the baseball season. All right, the Cubs. What did I tell you, Cub fans? What did I tell you? I said some guys got to get hot. PCA's running the bases like a speed demon. Seiya Suzuki's hitting the ball all over the place. You're in a good spot. All you need is Kyle Tucker. That King Tuck, all you need is for him. And you don't even need him right now. You can wait. You can get through the first round and then have King Tuck get hot. You're in a good spot, Cub fans. You're in a good spot. My White Sox. All right, my White Sox. Say what you want about them. They finished with a 60 and 102. And you might laugh because it's 102 losses, and that's a lot. But that's a 19-game improvement from last year. 19-game improvement from last year. That's a 12% improvement. So let me think about it. 19, they had 41 wins. Let's figure that out. That's a 46% increase of wins from last year. 46%. And again, here's the great part. This is not just sports, but this is life. Life is about perspective. Because you can look at the White Sox record at 60 and 102 and say, oh man, they suck. They're horrible. Ha 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 ha. Third 100 loss season in a row. Ha ha ha. Or you can look at it and say, damn, they won 19 more games than they did last year. They won almost 50% more games this year than they did last year, which shows a hell of a lot of improvement. Now, if you look at the 102, you think, oh, ha, 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 they third year in a row. But if you look at the win column, that's a whole nother story. 19 more wins is big time. 19 more wins is big time. Jace from the UK says, Shawn, I'm on my honeymoon in the Indian Ocean Islands. But it's Victory Monday, my man. I'm so freaking pumped. Bear down. Dude, I am fired up. First of all, congratulations on getting married. Secondly, what the hell are you doing watching me when you're going in Indian Ocean Islands? I appreciate it. Don't get me wrong. Man, I'd be jumping in the ocean, avoiding sharks like a mother hovered, boy. Man, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it a lot. Oh, my goodness. Oh, you said you... I got you. Like, she's in the shower, mate. I got you. I ain't mad at you, dog. I ain't mad at you. Shawn says the goal for the Sox to win 70-plus games next year. I do. I agree. I think it'll go up to 80, close to 80. I'm gonna put some expectations. I want to go 500 next year. I want to go 500 next year. That'll be another 21 wins we'll have to improve by. $21 wins. But you know what? This young team, all they did was get game time experience. So they're not going to be rookies anymore. Youngsters, yes. Rookies, no. There's going to be a way. They're going to want to wipe the taste of a 100-loss season out of their mouths. Because they had a chance that, man, how many games did they give away? The bullpen was frustrating for us. At least 5 times I remember the bullpen blew a lead in the 8th or the 9th inning. You don't blow those leads, guess what? We're under 100 losses. And I know it's funny to you Cub fans. I get it. I get it. But we're over here. We're trying to improve, and we're supporting our White Sox, man. And as embarrassing as last year was, to improve by 19 games is something I'm kind of proud of. I'm kind of proud of. You Cub fans, you enjoy it, man. It starts tomorrow, Wrigley. Congratulations to you guys. You got certain guys getting hot at the right time. You'll be doing just fine. Well, listen, let me take a quick break. Jason says, damn it, Shawn. I keep thinking you might make me get into baseball. It's a fun sport, man. It's a fun sport. A lot of drinking, a lot of talking, it's, very family friendly. And Shawn says, I'm worried about the non-commit from the old man owner. Yeah, but here's what I think. Like, what? You got the talent. That's the thing you need. You got the talent. That's the most important thing. You have the talent. And you have a manager now that we trust and believe in right now. To get us away, to get these young kids developed and playing the right way, we have the manager. I don't know if he's the manager to take us to the title, but we're not at that point yet. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. We're trying to get out of the stop losing 100 games shit. Okay? That's what we're trying to lose. We're trying to get out of that thing. Out of that stage of this for this organization. And right now he's on his way. 19-win improvement from last year in his first year, and you see these youngsters are playing. They play all 27. They believe until that last out is recorded, they have a chance. And to me, that as a paying customer going, I respect that. That's why I went to so many games toward the end of the year. You talked about it, King Booker World. You just said, I saw it. Here it is. You said the boycott ends next season. Yeah. Why? Because you see these kids playing, you see them fighting, you see them all 27 outs. And that is what we as hardworking citizens of this country and fans of this team, you give me guys that bust their ass every day, day in and day out. Yeah, I'll pay some money to go see you. I'll pay some money. It'll be on a Tuesday, $5 menu. But I'll go and see you. Jay Grizz said, I support all Chicago teams, even the White Sox. Best thing about the White Sox, the chef in the kitchen. Man, they got some food over there, boy. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. That's the one thing. We might have been last in the division. We're first when it comes to food at the ballpark. We are like, man, food at the ballpark. We got to be good at something. But listen, let me go to break. Let me get the warden off the CrossFit, and I'll come back and we'll actually get in the top of the morning topics. All right. So, folks, keep it locked right here. Shawn Sierra Sports on Sports Zone Chicago.
Operator 901, where's the emergency?
127 Brynmere.
Okay, what's going on there?
I'd like to order a pizza for delivery.
Ma'am, you've reached 911. This is an emergency line.
Large with half pepperoni, half mushroom.
You know you've called 911. This is an emergency
Do you
line.
know how long it'll be?
Okay, ma'am, is everything okay over there? Do you have an emergency or not?
Yes.
And you're unable to talk because...
Right.
Is there someone in the room with you? Just say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay, it looks like I have an officer about a mile from your location. Are there any weapons in your house?
No.
Can you stay on the phone with me?
No. See you soon. Thank you.
Every day, we take steps to keep the people we love safe, but some health risks are easy to miss. Ticks hiding in the yard can spread germs, like the ones that cause Lyme disease. Mice searching for food can spread bacteria that makes us sick. Mosquitoes lay eggs in standing water and can spread West Nile virus and more. Cockroaches are drawn to water in the home, leaving behind allergens that can trigger asthma attacks. Common pests can threaten our health. Learn how to protect your family at pestworld.org.
When I'm flying, I put my helmet on, my visor down, my mask up. You don't know who I am. Whether I'm African American, Asian American, Hispanic, white, male or female. You just know I'm an American airman kicking your butt. I'm General C.Q. Brown Jr. Come join us.
No, I don't know though. I'm scared. I mean, you're so...
Do you know that you're in my lane? No, not at all. Are you not paying attention? Are you texting? I was just checking in with my mom. I was telling her that I thought we'd be home by 6. It's okay. There's enough time. Just pay attention. I'm not even halfway through my text. There's no way. I'm not even going to look up. My babies are in the car. You have to pay attention. It's just supposed to be a quick text. I'm so sorry.
Puts
It's DJ Moore in the offensive backfield here. And that's where Williams goes. Moore just trying to get DJ Moore with the football arch in some space. Devin White, who... Boy, Gino has to feel that high snap on 3rd and 10. Throws a dart, and he's picked. Center of the field, it's Byard. And Byard has some running room. Gets down nearly...
Ball-hawking safeties that we've seen, 28 now, 29 career interceptions. He's just reading Geno Smith. The Bears show pressure, dropping everybody out in zone, and just look at Byard's eyes. He is all over Jacoby Myers. He sees the route develop, he jumps it. Well, that's how you start on defense. A secondary, Spiro, that it really struggled a couple weeks ago against the Detroit Lions.
Welcome back to Shawn Sierra Sports on Sports Zone Chicago. Those comes courtesy of CBS. Those are the Bears, baby. The Bears yesterday in Sin City with a huge win, come from behind win yesterday. I love it. Well, guys, let's get it crack-a-lacking. You know how we do the first segment of every show. It's called Top of the Morning.
It won't come just when you want it.
Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you.
So we go. Which way do we go? Which way do we go? Which way do we go? I think we know which way to go. Yes, baby. Yes. Our Bears. The Bears. Big time win, baby. Bears beat the Raiders. 25-24. Caleb Williams. 22 of 37 for 212 yards, a touchdown, a pick, and a 73.3 quarterback rating. DeAndre Swift, 14 carries, 38 yards, and a touchdown. And let's not get it twisted. He did other stuff too. A lot of people, I don't know why a lot of people are down on my guy, DeAndre Swift. I don't know why people are down on him so much. I mean, Swift also had 4 catches for 22 yards. Okay. But it was all set up. Everything came down to a minute or so, and it was a field goal attempt by the Raiders. See, the Bears scored. They put them up 1. So if you kick an extra point, you're only up 2, and a field goal still beats you. So they're up 25-24, and they decide to go for 2 to make it at least you need a field goal wouldn't beat you. Unfortunately, they did not. They did not convert on the 2-point conversion, so the lead stayed at 1. And somebody, I think it was Mondo. So me, Junior, and his son Mondo were on a text thread, and they were like, "Well, the defense. I hope the defense needs to step up." I'm like, they better, and they did. Well, special teams stepped up. Great game yesterday. And it was great in this aspect. The resilience of this team. The refusal to lose. Okay? The refusal to lose was extremely, extremely impressive. We'll talk about that more at the top of the hour with my man, Ken Davis. I'll keep it moving. The next top of the morning topic, the good guys from the South Side. They ended the season right. Shane Smith was dealing, baby. They beat the Washington Nationals 8-0. Blanked, shut them out. Shane Smith, the rookie, he got the win. He's 7-8. He finished the season 7-8. He was a hard luck pitcher, man. He pitched a lot of good games and no decisions. All right, the team lost the lead or just couldn't get him any runs. I like this young man. He went 6 innings, 1 hit baseball, 8 strikeouts. No walks, 8 strikeouts. Dominic Fletcher, 2 for 4 with a double, his 5th of the season. Hitting his first home run of the season as well, driving in 2 RBIs, his only 2 of the campaign. Brooks Baldwin. Wasn't Brooks? Yeah. Yeah, Brooks Baldwin. He's 2 for 4 with a double, his 15th of the season. He hit a homer as well, his 11th of the year. He drove in 3 on a day, his 36th, 37th, and 38th RBIs of the season. As we talked about before, the White Sox finished the season with a 60-102 record. 19 wins better than last year. Keeping it moving on. Keep moving on. The Northsiders, the Cubs. They swept the hell out of the Cardinals. The Cubs beat the Cardinals 2-0. Javier Assad got the win. He's 4-1 on the year, or he finished the year 4-1. 5 1/3, 3 hits, 1 walk, 6 punch-outs. Seiya Suzuki 1 for 3, hitting his 32nd homer of the year, driving in his 103rd ribby of the season. Ballesteros was 1 for 3 as well. He drove in the other RBI, his 11th of the season. Well, the Cubs who finished the season 92-70. 92-70. Man, they will host the Padres. Oh, that's what happened? Holy cow, I didn't even see that. They will host the Padres. Game 1, Tuesday, Wrigley Field. First pitch is at 2:08 p.m. That game will be on Channel 7 on ABC. We'll get the probables probably today. We don't know who's pitching, but game 1 and 2 are here. Game 3, if necessary, goes back to San Diego. You got in? Not the only, but a big, unfortunate loss for you guys is that Cade Horton will miss the wild card series with a rib fracture. Okay? You're gonna have to deal without him. You're gonna have to, but you guys have had enough people step up in big moments. Yeah. You're in a good spot. You're in a good spot. Keeping it moving. The next top of the morning topics. The Blackhawks, baby. Yes. Here come the Hawks, the mighty Blackhawks. Here come the Hawks. Man, the Blackhawks in preseason action beat the Minnesota Wild 4-1. Comesso stopped 28 of 29 shots. Frank Nazar scored 3 goals for the Hattie. His first 3 goals of the preseason. Ryan Donato scored his first goal of the preseason as well. All right. Assisting with Teuvo Teravainen added 2 assists, his first 2 of the preseason. Bertuzzi had his first 2 assists of the preseason. Same with Kaiser. Connor Bedard racked up his first helper of the year of the preseason, and Renzel also notched his first assist of the season. This young Blackhawks team is full of talent. Full of talent. And a lot of the talented names are right here. Frankie Nazar, Ryan Donato, old man Teuvo Teravainen, Bertuzzi, Connor Bedard. A lot of the extremely talented young players on this Hawks team were in the scorebook yesterday. If this is a sign of things to come, I like this kind of party. Definitely like this kind of party. I definitely like this kind of party because it's a carbon copy of back in 07, 08. Possibly. We'll see. Do they have the right head coach? I don't know. because Coach Quinville was the man, and he was the guy who brought the best out of those guys, because as we all know, coaching matters. So, where's this one? So going into the playoffs, Cub fans, how are you feeling? How are you feeling? Seiya Suzuki is on fire with 4 in the last 3 games. Is that what we talked about, Junior? 4 homers in his last 3 games. PCA, again, just get him on base. I think he hit a homer over the weekend as well. Stole a couple bases. All right. King, as I said, Kyle Tucker doesn't even need to really show out this series. You guys to advance. Rick. Man, I'm so jacked not to watch 1 inning of postseason baseball, FGB. Oh, man. Junior says, for us, it was quarterback coaching matters. Paul Ohm, not Darryl. Darryl was our old head coach with the Chargers, and he was a great guy. Just not a really good head coach. That's all. Paul was our quarterback. But anyway. We don't need to go down that road. But your pitching staff, like, who are you going to throw out there? So undecided. The Cubs were undecided, but it looks like the Padres are going to throw out Nick Pivetta. That's what it's saying according to the 4-letter network. So Nick Pivetta is the dude. Michael Bush. Junior, you're right. These bats seem to be coming alive. Michael Bush is on fire right now. You got Michael Bush, Seiya Suzuki, PCA. 3 guys who can carry you. You're sitting pretty. That's not even including if Kyle Tucker decides to start to warm up. Because if he warms up, you guys are going really deep in the playoffs. No diddy. Junior said, I'm excited to see the bats alive again. You should be, Cub fans. You should be. All right, they're playing good baseball. They're playing baseball the way it needs to be played, fundamentally sound. Key hits. Get them on, get them over, get them in. A couple of long balls. No diddy. Just make sure that your bullpen is focused. The bullpen needs to be focused and locked in. Because you don't want to get a lead and then blow it. God, that would be tough. That would be tough. But you got enough guys who are hot right now. What did I tell you? What did I tell you guys? Remember, all you Cub fans were all fire. We're like, oh no, you're crying and you're screaming Chicken Little, the sky's falling. I'm like, listen, you only need the last week, 7 to 10 days. Last week and a half, somebody get hot. Who got hot? Seiya. Michael Bush. PCA hit a couple, running the bases like a bandit. So that's all you need. And that's what you got. Padres don't want to face you guys. All right? They understand what the hell the possibilities, your potential is. And they don't want to deal with it. Don't have to. But you're in a good spot. My man, Mr. Shawn, hey, check it in. What up, Papa? Top of the morning to you, he says. Man, Shorty, I was at Branding Iron last night or yesterday afternoon for the Bears game. It was going crazy. It was great, great time. Shorty says FGB. Junior, yeah, you're right. Illini came back from that whooping last week with a big win Saturday against USC. Now one announcer picked them. Yeah, I saw that pregame. But, I mean, how could you? How could you? You know what I mean? Like you think they might be down, but that's a testament to Brett Bielema. That's a testament to Brett Bielema to say, hey, listen, last week was last week. No matter how many we lost by, and we lost by 53. 53. We dropped, 9 to 23? We got 14 spots. But guess what? Still good. It only counts as one loss. Put it behind you. I don't even know if I was that coach, if I was Brett Bielema, I don't even know if we'd watch film. I don't think we'd have watched film of that game. Like, crumple it up, throw it in the garbage, let's move on to next week. What are we going to learn from that crap, that shit show against Indiana that's going to help us? Because there was nothing done right. Nothing. So, yeah, good stuff for Illinois. Good stuff for Illinois. Yeah, Shorty's coming in. And Jason said, a dub's a dub, Shorty. Good teams win ugly. Let's go. I couldn't agree more. Because if we would have beat Minnesota with an ugly win in week 1, we'd be in a much better spot. We should have won it. As I said earlier, that game's going to haunt us. I hope not. We'll see. But and I know it sounds crazy, but I'm really excited about the White Sox. It's been about 5 years. No, because when did they come up? 18, 19? No. Because they played in the bubble together. Man, 18, 19, maybe about 5 years, 6 years when I was this excited, since I've been this excited, when they got Yo-Yo and Eloy and Lou Bob to go along with Abreu. They got TA. They got Andrew Vaughn, who was a hitter, who was a great hitting first baseman. Never loved to here. Goes up to Milwaukee and is not going to cover off the ball, but that's another story. But I was excited about that team. I really was. I was excited about that team. And I'm excited about this team. I'm excited about this young squad. Okay, because there's just a lot of hope. I guess that's all we can have right now for Sox fan is hope. Hope you can draft the right players. Hope you can acquire the right players. Hopefully you develop these players. And then hopefully when they get up here, the training and development that they had in the minors translates to the big leagues. Because sometimes you can develop players, but man, the big leagues is another animal. They can kill in single A, double A, triple A. When you step up to the show, it's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother candle of wax. And do they have the mental makeup for it? Is something that you have to ask, and you got to try and develop while they're in the lower levels. Because that is a huge part of it. Do they have the mental makeup? Are they mentally strong enough? Because there's going to be teams or pitchers that just have the best of you. They're in the league for a reason. All right. Coastal Montgomery, they thought he was going to break camp with the squad. He didn't. What do? He didn't even go back to Charlotte, the AAA affiliate. He went back to Arizona to work on his swing. He didn't even go to AAA, the minors. He went back to the fundamentals camp. And it was a big, humbling moment for him. But he didn't complain. He put his head down, did the work. And now this guy hit 22 home runs, 21, 22 homers after the All-Star break. Yeah. So now when he goes into next season, he's got a new swing that he's worked on. He has success that he can draw on in order to gain confidence. A lot of good stuff there for the White Sox. Him, Kyle Teal, Edgar Carroll, Chase Mydroff, all these youngsters, Miguel Vargas. All these youngsters with a whole lot of experience this year. They took their lumps. 102 losses. But they also showed that the moment and the stage is not too big for them. And that's got me excited. Along with the pitching staff, I just talked about Shane Smith, Davis Martin, Martin Perez. We've got a couple of nice young arms that we can build upon and build around. Some good stuff happening on the South Side. I'm glad that your boycott's over next year. And one last thing. We'll talk about it. I'm going to go to break. We'll talk about it. This is what bothers me about my industry. This is what bugs me. We'll talk about it in a moment. On the other side of the break, my man Ken Davis is going to join us. We're going to talk all things Bears. All right? So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. ShawnSierraSports on Sports Zone Chicago. Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
How do you take care of your mind health?
For my mental health, I meditate in the mornings. I have my dogs. They're the best.
I just find ways that help me just relax.
Finding things that make me happy, like being close to my family.
I meditate a lot and read books.
I have hobbies outside of the game. I'm able to switch off. I'm able to turn my brain off from the game of basketball.
Your mind health matters.
Your mind health matters.
It's a romance sport. What? It's a romance sport like that.
Your Marine Corps' way of life is to defend the American way of life. Every day, no matter where we serve, we take a stand for our nation, for each other, for us all. The few the proud, the Marines.
Everybody in a work zone is someone's somebody.
This is my mom. She works for KDOT.
This is my dad.
This is my mom.
This is my daddy.
This is my sister.
This is my daddy.
This is my son, Scott. He was killed while working in a highway work zone. When you drive through a work zone, drive like a life depends on it. Because it does.
Time that clock running, all 3 timeouts left for the Bears. As we're now 5 and change, Williams steps up in the pocket, gonna rip it and completes. DJ Moore by commit. Marks him back at the 41-yard line. Williams steps up. Williams, first down and more. As we are inside of 3 minutes left. Crosby coming around the edge. They protect Williams and he completes. First down Bears. Odunze. Go Bears, buck 39 left in regulation. Swift to the outside, in for the Chicago touchdown. Jacob Bobenmeyer, the snapper. A.J. Cole, the holder. The kick is blocked. Unbelievable. First blocked field goal for the Chicago Bears.
Welcome back to ShawnSierraSports on Sports Zone Chicago. Man, those were the boys, man. Those were the boys in Sin City. Tell you what. Shorty, Shawn, I totally yelled block right before they blocked it. Junior said, Pillow did not play bad yesterday. Better than 79. Well, Theo Benedict, that's 79. And I'll tell you what, Trapillo did not. He did not. So apparently he got benched. And I'm talking Braxton Jones. This is what Biggsy was saying. Braxton Jones got benched early. And Theo Benedict moved from right to left. The rookie goes in at right tackle. And again, he did not very well. Wow. This just in. The Cleveland Browns are trading for Texas tackle Cam Robinson for a swap of late-round picks in 2027, per sources. This is from Adam Schefter. See, they're going to get a tackle that they need. Black Diamond checking in. What's up, Baba? How are you? It's the top of the morning, gang. Ugly-ass win, Shawn. You know that's a game we lose last season. Yeah, I can't argue that. I don't think we win that game last year. But we're not in last year. We're here. So we're good. Yeah, Shorty, Braxton got benched because if you know, he still had his helmet with him. And the first thing that people do when you're injured is you take your helmet. You take your helmet. Whenever you're injured, or when you go into tent, if you go into blue tent, first thing you do is take your helmet. You don't go into the blue tent with your helmet. They never do. They take the helmet, you go in there, and if you're good to go, they give it back. And if you're not, you don't get it back. But Braxton Jones was standing with his helmet on the sideline. Oh, Black Diamond says, my feet are here. Good. Okay. You're just making a statement. All right, cool. Jay Gris says, why couldn't that have been the Bears trading for Cam Robinson? I know. I know. But that was a good move. And here's why. And remember I told you, remember I said, for Ozzie Trapillo to come in, for him not to be shell-shocked, you got to throw him in middle of the game. You got to throw him in middle of the game. Don't sit there and say, oh, man, you're going up against Max Crosby. Wow, you got, man, good luck. Man, it's going to be a tough one. Man, good luck, kid. What a way to start your career, bro. Look at a way to start your Don't do that to the kid. The kid knows. The kid's watched him. He's heard about him in college, and he knows who the hell he is. So when it's a, oh, my bad. I'm sorry. I'm like I'm missing something. Sorry. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. Oh, let me get rid of this too so you get a better view of it. There you go. The best thing to do is, all right, kid, you're in now. He doesn't have time to think. All you have time to do is resort to your fundamentals. All right? And he did okay. He did okay against Max Crosby. But guess what? You're not going to face Max Crosby every week. You're going to face good defensive ends. Let's not get it twisted. But you're not going to face the likes of Max Crosby every week. You got Myles Garrett coming up. Okay. Now that is going to be a challenge. But the thing about it, here's the thing. When you face Max Crosby, you have a little bit of confidence. You didn't stonewall him. The dude's too damn good. But you held your own. So now as you go into a week, when you prepare for another level up in Myles Garrett, it's not going to be as big of a shell shock because that dude is a stud. That dude is a stud. We're not going to face Myles Garrett's and Max Crosby's every week. People at that level. Believe it or not, other teams have deficiencies too, guys. Other teams want edge rushers. Other teams want defensive tackles. Other teams want quarterbacks. Other teams want number one wide receivers. We got a lot of these things. We have to have all of it. Only thing we didn't have, in my opinion, was a left tackle. And he was functional. But listen. Let me bring in my guy. My man's in them. You know who he is. He's a great friend of the program. Mr. Drop Your Drawers himself. Ken Davis.
I've heard people say that too much of anything is not good for you, baby. But I don't know about that. As many times as we've loved and we've shared love and made love, it doesn't seem to me like it's enough. It's just not enough.
Ken Davis, what up? Listen, drop them draws himself. Drop them draws, Davis.
I wish in another life, Many years ago, many seasons in the past.
Many moons ago.
Many moons. Many spins around the sun backwards. What's going on over here? What's going on, Shawn? What's going on, chat?
How you feeling, bro? How you feeling about the win? First, about the win. Happy with the win, I would assume?
I'm happy. Okay. Yeah. I can't sit here and when I join you and you guys talk about that Ben Johnson's biggest responsibility was breaking down Caleb, but it also breaking down Caleb, establishing a culture because the Bears have been doing a lot of losing. And that established doesn't mean that it's taken hold. But I think you can see some differences, but also this could be my bias because I want to see some differences. You know what I'm saying? That's part of the affliction of being a Bears fan or any fan, particularly with a moribund team. You look for green flags because there's always a lot of red that are waving in our face that we're like, get out the way, red flag. This is my team. There are still the questions. One thing that if you watch any show that I've been a part of, but also particularly on this show, that Shawn and I have talked about for half a decade, is the trenches. And this isn't a Dennis Allen, Ben Johnson thing. This is a why the hell did Ryan Poles get an extension type of issue. And it's not just from the part of drafting, which is a huge part of it, because you've only spent one first-round pick on the trenches. I'm talking both front and back when we're talking trenches, and that was one pick on Darnell Wright, and I'll still go down with this. If you saw me hosting the draft on NBC Sports back then, I wanted Jalen Carter, and still to this day, it shows why didn't you get Jalen Carter? You could have gotten a coach that will be able to handle him if that was to build the culture that you need. But when you can get a player that's supremely talented, you settled for Darnell Wright. And if we're being honest, Darnell Wright hasn't shown us the quality of a right tackle drafted within the top 10 in the draft like that, or 11. We haven't necessarily seen that. But holding on to Braxton has still been a problem. Guard center guard, we still have the question is still out on, did we get Detroit's Jackson or did we get LA Rams Jackson? But it still isn't as bad as it's been in the past. But defensively, the pressure. It's shocking how many interceptions they got yesterday without any pressure. Like that's crazy. I mean, when you're talking about, that, and then props, I'll say this, and then Shawn, you could take the discussion anywhere that you want to take this with your show. One thing, and I will say this, I was worried about this with Ryan Poles. I was like, at one point we believed, well, at least he can staff a secondary. But that has started to come into question, for real, because Terrell Smith, I know he got hurt this year, but there was never really, outside of maybe last year during training camp, the threat of trying to steal a job, you know what I'm saying, from Tyreek Stevenson, since they was both drafted together. A lot of people heralded him coming out of Minnesota. And Tyreek Stevenson had the stupid mistake in that game at the end of last season, fussing with the fans and then getting a bomb thrown on him and just never showing the maturity, showing a lot of the reasons why you think he left Georgia to go play football down in the state of Florida. But for him to step up the way he has now, taking on the number one position at cornerback, to show that athleticism that we saw early in his tenure here, as far as the diving interceptions that he's able to get. The fact that, again, I want to switch to pro personnel. I'm not just going to beat on, I can beat on Ryan Poles all day here, but we saw with Byard the reason why he's here. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of the times, and I think here I made the joke where at the beginning of training camp, he was talking about, I want to be a part of the coaching. And I'm like, of course, you want another contract. And particularly a player that's in the twilight of his career. Now, he's a young man comparably to us, but when you're talking about being in your early 30s and playing football in general, you're towards the twilight of your career, even though now players are playing longer. But you saw the youthfulness in what he was doing, not just to intercept the ball, but also to take it back to where it still has hurt them. And this part has nothing to do with Ryan Poles. They have been burnt with injuries in the secondary. Like when you think about Jalen was here for a fraction of time, we still haven't seen Kyler Gordon. Kyler Gordon has been in and out really a lot of his career. Like he's probably played really, like last year may have been the year he played as many games. But him and Brisker have kind of been in and out. Of course, Brisker more than Gordon. But I'm happy to get back to your question. I'm happy also because I think if the game ended in a loss, I still would have had some green flags. But when you're going into a bye week with a victory, it's a lot better. Because this is going to tell us something too. I think we've always paid attention to what coaches do after a bye week, because this tells us what's your preparation, what your adjustments, what all that is like. And it's funny, I would have liked to see, and I don't know if someone asked this question last night or if it would come up in this week's press conferences with Ben Johnson, but part of the reason why you snatched out your tackles yesterday, then switched them, of course, when you snatched out Braxton Jones. Are you getting an early look into what the competition that he mentioned? Remember, Ben Johnson talked about these first 4 games are going to be about competition, that these positions, and primarily when we're talking about positions, we're talking about the offensive line. Let's be honest, what we're talking about when we're talking about positions aren't set in stone. And when you brought in Ozzie and you had Bennett on the left side, where you moved him from right to left, to see what they can do, because that's a hell of a situation to throw Ozzie in, to be honest with you. Now, it's going to happen regardless because he's a backup. So as a backup, you're going to get thrown in. So you just have to
stay ready. Still got to get ready.
That's it. That's all. That's the only thing you can do. Batter the hatches, and prepare. And hopefully during the game you can grow, because he hasn't been used to NFL speed. He went from in training camp starting out on the left side, and they're like, this is too much. Let's put him back to the position he played primarily in college and putting him back right. So even the time that he had when he was getting reps in training camp, they weren't all on the right side. But again, to me, watching it was like, I like if Ben Johnson is doing this, because you know what? We need to see what these dudes can do. And during this training and then during this break that we have for the bye week, we got to see if we're going to snatch guys out and put guys in. But then it always, and unfortunately now ending on this, it gets back to Poles. And Poles really hasn't done a great job here. Like, if we really, because the Caleb thing is a give me. You know what I'm saying? Like, what were you going to do? Was you going to grab him, or you were going to draft Jaden Daniels? When you suck that bad, and then on top of that, the team you made a trade with sucks even more, so you get the first pick. I'm not going to give you props for that, because you had to be bad in the first place. But there are just a lot of questions when it comes to personnel on this team. Like the fact that, and I'm telling you, I was a person that was cheering up and down about how Montez Sweat looked when he first arrived with the Bears the rest of that season, right? And you haven't seen that. You see the reason probably why he was moved to where he's a good player, but he hasn't been a difference maker since that second half of the season that he got traded here. Like, even regardless,
he didn't.
No,
his talents didn't rub off because he's getting double teamed and everything on everybody else, allowing
that
them
part. Listen, to a degree, because you always can shift the line his way. Someone should be slightly eating off of him, even if they're not kind of eating. Some guys should be about to get a good contract because it's my contract year, and they keep doubling Montez Sweat, and they singling me, and I'm eating on these guys. And as you just said, he hasn't been a multiplier. The Jarrett thing, I know he was out, but it really, I don't even know if we got old version of him from Atlanta, and that again goes to pro personnel. I did like what we were getting the first couple of games from the kid from Indianapolis that they brought in the defensive end. I thought that he wasn't getting some props. Yeah, I thought he wasn't getting some props for us. It seemed like he sunk down with the rest of them. He made a couple boneheaded moves a couple times, but there are a lot of times where his finishing, I liked his penetration, how he got out. So the addition, that doesn't upset me, but that's the kind of guy you bring in when you already got 2 dogs. And this is like, oh yeah, I'm gonna add him. And right now you don't have a dog. If we're being just flatly right now on that.
Bro, I said that about Montez Sweat. Like, he's not a dog.
He don't have a talented dog.
Yeah, he might be very talented, but he ain't a dog. You know who's a dog? Number 98 on the Raiders, Max Crosby. That Joker is a dog.
What the hell is that, dog? What the hell is that? Like the just from it's been years now. He's been an excellent player, but he's in a way he's still improving. You know what I'm saying? Like the tenacious ability, the fact that he almost tipped 2 interceptions to himself, right? Yeah. Like he almost how do you almost
good enough? You gotta do 2.
Right. How do you almost stop like a defensive end, right? Like how are you all like, dude? And listen, he's a tall guy. I'm sure he's strong. He doesn't seem big, but I mean, this is if he walked up on me, I'd be like, damn, it's a big motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that the amount of power that he can generate on guys that are walking around 340 with muscle 340, you know what I'm saying? Like he's manhandling grown men and then has the ability to get out in the pass and tip interceptions to himself, like that, like you say, that just having him, you see where what you keep hearing all of yesterday, like they've been waiting on. There was two guys, the Taylor kid that they drafted like 2 years ago, and there was another one where they're waiting for him. They're waiting to see, but you can wait for those guys when there's a dog out there, as you said earlier, that's a force multiplier. And I was going to bring that up too, Shorty, as far as Austin Booker. One, man, Austin Booker better be able to light a fire under this. And this is a conversation I was having myself yesterday. But props to Austin Booker and what we think he can be. But at no points do we believe, and this isn't even a knock on him, that he's going to be able to set the edge and be a dominant run. So, I mean, what do we want? One thing we've always talked about is let's get a one-trick pony. Now, of course, we want a true two-trick pony. I'm not saying if you're like, Ken, I got a two-trick pony and a one-trick pony, which one do you prefer? I'm like, give me a two-trick pony, right? But we're saying that beggars can't be choosers. You know what I'm saying? So if you're right there, what is consistently want to get out. Cornelius, do you believe that? Do you believe with the amount of false starts and boneheaded type of plays that he has? And I'm not saying get rid of him. I'm saying he has not lived up to the value of where he was drafted. Regardless if you like him because he's a Bears player, be honest. Has he lived up to that draft position on top of that being switched out for Jalen Carter? Because let's not forget, the Bears just didn't want Jalen Carter and traded back with the Eagles. So that's tied to him regardless of anything. This just as Daniels and Caleb will be always connected at the hip, that's a connection to him. So I'm not saying he's trash, but dog, you're talking as if he's Penny Sewell. He's like, it's not even a question. When you're drafted that high on a right tackle, dog, he better be a fucking stud for real. And particularly when this isn't year 2. You know what I'm saying? Like, dog, at this point, at this point, it's not even a question. We're supposed to be talking about him as the best offensive lineman on this team. Like, unquestionably, he's the best offensive lineman on this team. He's supposed to be, look, I won't say this. He should be setting the standard, but everyone can't be a leader. So I won't put that on him. But when you're going out, and particularly when you draft him in a draft where you don't draft a player because you're talking about culture, then that I would think that culture would be part of the reason why you're bringing this player in, and I mean to affect culture. But now I see, sure, he Cornelius on here trying to fuck with me, got me off my square. I was talking about Booker. But the thing with this is, while I was thinking about it, is Booker still a young player? It's still not drafted as high as Darnell Wright as I continue to go in. We would want him to be someone who could sack the quarterback. And he definitely has been.
Before, don't you see I see a lot of the traits of Max Crosby, because the one trait that I see is that this dude Booker does not stop. He got a motor. And you see him.
No. I'm not dissing that. That's not what I'm saying.
No. I'm not saying you won't, but I'm saying, aren't you seeing?
I do. But my point being,
a couple more tattoos and we'll be straight.
And smoke a little weed. Gotta have the weed in the presses. That's another thing about, like, Max Crosby. I'll get back to Booker. Max Crosby, if you did not grow up with what the Raiders were supposed to be, is such a fucking Raider. Like, yes, that's the thing that makes it like he's this anti-hero, iconoclast type dude. Like, he would fit into the Raiders in any era, damn near.
Howie Long.
Yeah, him.
Tuzak.
Lau Alzado,
yes.
Yeah, Lau Alzado, like any era with those Raiders, with the Oakland before they moved to LA, as you just said, the LA Raiders, the guys that went, like, any era.
Howie Long.
He's such a Raider. Like, that again, culture. Like, when I see him, it's like, damn, he's a fucking Raider, but he's what a Raider should be if they're excellent, not, leading the league. Because for anybody that doesn't know, if we look at the last 40 years, teams that have led the league in penalties, the Raiders are going to have led the league in the penalties more than anybody else over the last 40 years. But anyway, to your Austin Booker thing, I was saying that I don't feel like we can ask him to do everything, is what I was getting at, Shawn, when I said set the edge. Because one of the biggest problems is the run blocking. Like, it's atrocious. And for us here, like, I think sometimes, I know everyone here is older, so they know. I don't think people that are younger understand how important run defense is for us as Bears fans, because over maybe the last 10 years, 12 years, since Lovey's been gone, it has been where sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not good. Now, I'll say this. When under Nagy, it wasn't as stout, but they would still be able to bend and wasn't giving up 100-yard rushers consistently. But it wasn't the tenacious run-stuffing defense we were used to, but they were still at times a good run-stuffing defense. Like they were good. They weren't as great. But usually the Bears are one of the best run-stuffing teams to where you just not, unless it's a stud, like that day Adrian Peterson just kicked the crap out of us for his rookie season or whatever, where it's just like, damn, he is everything they said, right? Like that shit could just happen. It doesn't matter how good your run. You run up against an all-time great, you can get switched. How many fucking highlights have Barry Sanders killing the Bears? It wasn't that the Bears defense was just trash all those years. It was fucking Barry Sanders, and he played them twice a season for 10 seasons. But then again, like that's my only issue when I'm talking about Austin, because however good he can be, he can't fix everything. They're comp to Max Crosby. That's what a lot of people use during the draft time, was the fact that he has a motor that you could hope could emulate what Max Crosby. And I'll say this too, sometimes, a lot of times when it's talking about Max Crosby, the phrase of he has a motor is kind of disrespectful, because it kind of doesn't lend to his craft when people say that shit. Because the motor's just like, man, he's just try-hard guy. He never stops. He does that too, but he knows what the fuck he's doing. Like, it's just like a guy, like, because you can have a high motor and you just out there doing shit. And again, you may be able to succeed because you have more energy. You never give up. But when you see him get back in coverage, and it wasn't luck when you do it twice. Like it wasn't even, I can't put it on him. It could have been that too much heat was on the pass for him to tip it to himself the first time he almost did it. But for you to see what he can do versus an offensive tackle, that's not just motor. He is bending guys and getting around them. So this isn't a you thing. This is what, when people say things and then because one person said it, it becomes a cliche to say this. And for someone as great as Max Crosby, that's a diss, because you're saying that he's not gifted, that he's not physically a specimen. Like, just like, dude, it's quick. Like, it's a lot more to him.
He's phenomenal. He's great. He's fundamentally sound, first and foremost. He's fundamentally sound. He's got great. He's very violent with his hands. Okay. But the thing is, like, after his technique, like, he's still.
That's the thing, right there.
He still doesn't stop. Like, and there's no, and I know what you're saying, but I didn't want it to come across like that's his only thing. Like, he'll get you.
This wasn't,
even if you get him, because you offensive linemen get paid too, he's still coming. Like, he's all right, okay, cool. Well, then I'm just gonna dip my shoulder and try to get around you. This dude, just every play, he's like a coach's dream. Like, every play, play hardest every single time. I want balls to the wall every rep, and he does. Dude. And he does. It's like, damn,
dude, that culture though.
Yeah.
Like, it's culture, because if you have him, the defense looks a lot better. They play a lot better. Guys jump on board. Like, that's the thing. Like, it's hard to suck when somebody great surrounds you. You may not get to their level, but it's going to rub off on you. And it's your decision if you want it to become imbued with it and it become a part of you, or if sometimes you want to fuck with it and you get on your shit. Like, it's your decision if you want to take it to another level consistently, or if sometimes you just fall in line with it. But that's the thing, and that's what, again, getting back to Ryan Poles has not drafted leaders.
No,
like that's like that. For someone who preaches culture, you haven't drafted anyone that can grab the bull by the horns, really. I mean, because if we're talking about,
I think I think Caleb is the leader. Granted, it's a gimme, but I also think Kwani B. I think Brisker is a leader on that defense.
Brisker hasn't been healthy enough.
True, but you said leaders. This is a dude that.
But availability. So if you want to play that game, availability is the most important thing, and you cannot lead when you're not there. And this isn't a knock on him. This is just because the way he plays. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna diss anybody.
Stop being Doug Plank.
I can't knock you. But look, I'm a Caleb guy. Caleb hasn't taken over that locker room yet. I think Caleb will, but I don't think it's been just easy. And you've been like this. You haven't been the Caleb guy. You can't claim Caleb being a leader now. You dissed Caleb in the past.
Hey, I can assess the situation. you know,
I think it's going that way, and I think you can see it like at the end of the game when you saw DJ congratulating Caleb. I think you see it.
Yeah, you hear him, throw me the ball more.
Right, but I think some of the stuff that Caleb, we could talk about hit pieces or whatever, but there's going to be some truth. And Caleb, before a preseason game, telling Allen what to do with his routes, you're gonna get kind of fucking pissed with somebody that doesn't play your position, let alone hasn't played it at a Pro Bowl level. I think there's been some growing pains, particularly because Caleb knew he was here with a lame duck coaching staff, right? So he was like, whatever. After a second, fuck y'all, and they was like, fuck him. I hope, and I think Caleb will be that. But as you said, and I said, it's a layup. But when we're talking about, and this is something we talk about a lot, Shawn. It's how many times in baseball have people said, and I'm not saying it's not outliers, it's hard for a pitcher to be the leader of the team, right? Of course, there are times where a pitcher is one of the fundamental leaders, but usually it's going to take an everyday player. Mm-hmm. Exactly. It's just so when we're talking football, usually we're talking about that front seven. Let's be honest when we're saying that. You do have times where a cornerback, I think JJ leads by showing, but he didn't draft him. But a cornerback or even a safety is going to be difficult. And usually, even if they are the leader, they need someone in that front seven to bounce it off of. There has to be someone to lead that too. And you don't necessarily have that in that front seven. And I think getting back to why we were talking about Max Crosby, and the guy doesn't even have to be as good as Max Crosby, it would fire up the rest of them motherfuckers more often. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
you need an offensive lineman. You need an offensive or defensive lineman who's a leader. You need that on the offense. You need an O lineman and the defense.
Yep, you do.
Like
do. Or like what's the name? I'm blanking that they got that Ryan Pace got that the Saints had, and then the Patriots had, and then he signed them the 5 technique tackle that would play here. That was would have got more. It was kind of nuts. It was a little bit nuts.
Talking about. I can see his face. Oh goodness!
Right. You need something like because that year when John Fox and Vic Fangio, and we were like at the end of that first year with Fox, and we were like, wait, this defense may be kind of good, right? He was the main reason that defense played as well as it played. And like that's you need that. You can get it through per personnel and guys that may be on a quote unquote scrap heap and that can fit into your system. But Post hasn't hit necessarily on that to me, in my opinion.
It's really bugging me. I can't think. I can see the dude. He's a big dude with big arms. I see his face. I can't think of his God blessed name. And we signed from the Patriots. Yeah.
Yep.
Go back to 2018 Bears.
Yeah, he was there. I think he got there in 2017. Let me see. Wow.
Somebody in chat, help me out. Who the defensive tackle? His name's on the tip of my tongue right now, too. So, no diddy. Damn it.
Give me 1 second. I'll have it for us. All right.
Akeem Hicks. Starkey Love with it. Akeem Hicks. Thank you. Starkey Love. Good looking out. Yes.
Akeem Hicks. You need that type of. You need a guy who. And the reason I'm bringing him up, it wasn't like when the Bears acquired him, when Ryan Pace acquired him, we knew he was going to be that. I'm sure Ryan Pace hoped, but he couldn't have thought he was going to end up being like he got blocked out of the Pro Bowls a lot because he was like the fourth or fifth best tackle a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, damn, you just good enough almost. But yeah, you need they and again, look, I'll say this because I don't want to sit here and poo-poo on all this, but that's all, like, I'm gonna be a realist. I mean, I'm going to enjoy it, but I'm always looking at things how to get better. This is how I do myself. I'm never like, oh, kid, you did that great. Hell yeah. It's what can I do better? So if you don't like it, fuck it. Your problem. But but that's how that's how I analyze anything is how can it improve, particularly when you're not there yet. Even if you're at the top, of course you have to do that. But there are ways to grow, but also it will be good. Now I'll give it back to you. It would be good if I saw a lot of there's a they got some guys that if they just had somebody to kind of lead them, I think they can improve. And I mean, I think I don't mind the linebackers. I wish there was some fire. I think it's funny, and he when you think about Edwards, I love the play where he was blitzing off the edge at the beginning of the game, and it was a left off. It was either off guard or off center run, and he ran down. He came back to run the running back down. It may have been 7 yards down the field, but when you blitzing into the backfield, then have to turn around and run after somebody, and he was the guy that tackled him. I think it shows his athletic ability, but we knew that when he was coming out of college before he was drafted by Buffalo. But that's just one of the things. When I'm looking at it, I'm thinking about, okay, like when we always talk now, I joke with you, we'd be like, man, look at this bench player, look at this. And again, I'm interested in when Booker comes back. But man, look, the defensive tackle situation is worse than it was in the last 2 years. If we're really being
here's what happened, dude. No one wants to listen. This is why Braxton Jones is sucking. Okay, because Braxton Jones was an above average, serviceable left tackle.
Yes.
But what happened? His ankle. So this offseason, just like Billings, remember what happened to Billings? He tore his pec. So you can't you're rehabbing. You're not training for the next season. That's the issue that Billings is having, is like people can block him because you ain't freaking the Incredible Hulk anymore, because your pec muscle is not as strong as it was a year ago or since you got here. Now, next year he'll be fine. Same with Braxton. His injury will be gone, but that whole offseason, and we saw how, remember, he couldn't even do shit, Braxton.
I was going to get to that.
Beginning of camp. Yeah. So if he couldn't even do shit, that means he's not squatting, he's not deadlifting, he's not hand cleaning, he's not getting his lower extremity stronger and quickness as well. Same thing with Billings. I mean, are you doing push-ups? I mean, you're not benching 575 pounds now because you can't. Right. And all that time, it's a detriment. And I believe me, I understand it, bro. My senior year in college, 2 weeks before I had to head back to Holy Cross, I strained my back. I had 135 on, bro. I was literally warming up. Dude, I was squatting fucking almost about 600 pounds back then, bro. I had 135 on the bar to warm up, and my back tweaked. I didn't. 2 weeks going into camp, I couldn't lift. First week and a half of camp, I couldn't lift. Lost a lot of my strength. So I believe me, I feel it.
And the funny thing is, I can't blame anyone for the Braxton situation. Mm-hmm. And I like how he's been serviceable. He's been above average particularly for where he was drafted at. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's been a guy that exactly, the old drafts, right? Day 18. Particularly a guy where he was drafted, and you'd be like, I want him on my roster because there was value in having him if you had a great left tackle. And you always be like, man, if anybody go down to left or right, we know we got Braxton. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, do go out for the rest of the year. Shit, at least we got Braxton. It'd be different. We have Braxton. Like, that's what you would like if everything was everything. And most times everything isn't everything unless you like Green Bay or somebody like that. But the thing where I can't blame anyone is, one, my thought is, well, you brought in competition, so he's going to be worried about this or whatever. Too bad they couldn't tell him to slow down his return. But I can't put that on them because this is a contract year. So he has to get tape out there and to try to get as much money as possible. So, of course, he's going to push himself to be back on the field because he's trying to get also what us refer to him being drafted in the 5th round. That's 5th round money that he has. He doesn't have first 2-round cash.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, regardless of how he's played enough to get some millions of dollars. All right, in the league.
If J. Charles Lemo can get a second contract,
right. So like, that's the thing to where it's messed up because of course he's gonna want to have been out there, and they're gonna want to bring in competition. And as you pointed out, he wasn't ready. You know, like on top of course, and we know this, that if you can't train during the offseason, I was telling my son as far as putting on muscle before the season starts, and I'm like, you can't really put on muscle during the season, right? Like that's like that's recovery and trying to keep it like that's a preseason. I mean, not just the preseason, but that's the off-season type of thing. And Braxton, of course, someone who has to get bigger and more stout because he doesn't have the tuchus that your left tackle needs to stop bull rushes. You know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't have the ass and thighs that are adequate enough to anchor when somebody is trying to blow you up. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's, again, but on the light side, look, they pulled one off in the game where at times it looked like they was out of it. There's still some hiccups. His height's always going to be an issue, but it's not just his height. It's where this arm slide he throws.
Yes.
It's like, because if you think about someone like Drew Brees threw the ball from up here.
Caleb
throws the ball. So we're always going to get batted balls with Caleb for the most part, because trying to go in and change his release is a whole different type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just trying to get his footwork right, him to be in the pocket and how to climb the pocket at times. Because anytime it's a mobile quarterback, they always like to flush out the back where climb the fucking pocket. Not to say you can at times, but there's too much space in the pocket just to move around and still get the ball off rather than just taking it off. But it has to do with his arm slot is going to cause batted balls often. But you still got someone who is talented, has really nice arm talent, is extremely mobile. He's not the fastest quarterback, but he's not slow. He can definitely get you a first round. He can definitely get you a touchdown. He has moxie. He has some specialness. He makes bonehead plays at times, and hopefully they can grow that out of him. You know what I'm saying? Like, hopefully this isn't him. This is him being young and having to learn. So I think you have the coach, but you're going through growing pains with the coach, because I'm sorry, I think personnel often. And I wanted Ty Warren. I was a Penn State fan at times growing up, but it has nothing to do with that. I just wanted Ty Warren. You shouldn't have drafted a fucking tight end in the first round this year. Like, I'm just being honest. It was, and I know Cole Kmet was dropping shit crazy, right? But point being, you still had too many holes in your trenches, right? Like, I am a fucking Rome Odunze fan. I enjoy talking to Rome. Rome is a kid with his head screwed on properly. Shawn, I'm sure you've had times to talk to him. He's a kid where it's like, this motherfucker clicks in Chicago. It could be nice. He's a good looking kid, so the ladies are gonna like him. But he has the skill set. But dog, in all fairness, you probably shouldn't have went receiver with your second pick in last year's draft either.
No,
like,
that's
you've
what
had first round. You have first dog. You can't. You had 3 first round picks, and you went skill position with all 3 of them. And we know that's just not, dog. Do you know how good you got to be to go skill position? Like, you got to be close when you just like, man, all I need is the skill position. Dog, everything in football is done in the trench. Listen, I was getting to a debate with Siafa, that used to be on NBC, used to be the sports, one of the sports anchors at NBC. Now he's out in Philadelphia. He's the regular anchor now. Shout out to Siafa. And we were talking about fucking he was talking about Jalen Hurts, and he's sitting there like, Hurts is this, and it's funny, I went back at him, he's like, I ain't even fuck with Hurts like halfway through the season last year, whatever, right? I got to see what the fuck he ran after I went back at him or whatever, because one of the things I wanted to say to him and I didn't was, dog, look at what Philadelphia did. Philadelphia they lose trench players and they keep fucking going because they keep drafting trench players. Like, and it allows them to be like, oh, this quarterback, we thought he was good, he can go. Because they always, when's the last time they had a fucking bad offensive line, Shawn? They haven't had a bad offensive line since Andy Reid was the since before Andy Reid was the fucking coach. And if we're being, I'm sure there will be times some Philadelphia fans will point out where it may have not been exceptionally or really good. But I'm saying, and if we really look at it, they consistently have good offensive line players, good trench players, consistently. They've lost. Think about how many defensive players they've lost the last 2 seasons, and they still hauling ass on people. And that's how you win. You have to have trench dogs to win. It's the simplest way. We talk about this shit all. I know it's cute to win through the air. Look at what the fuck Jalen Hurts threw 110 for 110 yards yesterday, right? Dog, you don't have.
What do you have? 2,600 yards passing last year.
Dude, you don't have to. Again, now I want my guy to pass for 4,000 yards. I've never seen it in my life, so of course it'd be nice to see it. But I'm saying, like, football, until they make some rules that I haven't seen they're coming, is still beat a man up and dominate a man. When it is. And I know I sound like a cave person, but I'm being honest with you. It's still, that's one of the reasons I like Ben Johnson, because he's a run the ball guy. Listen to him talk about 5 yards in, it's run the ball. Now, I'm sure there's going to be times where he passes the ball, depending on the defense, depending on the scenario. But I like to hear my coach saying, I'm not going to get cute all the time when it's clearly a fucking run play and we're going to be 5 yards in shotgun 24/7, like the last couple of years or whatever. But that's the thing, man. That's when I look at the team. And again, I was someone who I still root for Ryan Poles. I just have to be honest now. And it takes a while because this is Ryan Poles' 4th season here, I believe. This is 4th season because Eberflus only had 3. So that would mean this is going into Ryan Poles' 4th season.
Yeah.
Now we can grade him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It takes 3 years to grade him.
He's got a pattern.
Yeah, now we can start to grade him because the first 2 years he's finding himself out. But my biggest thing, and I'll end it on the Ryan Poles thing here, there hasn't been an adjustment as far as, you know what? I haven't been picking good quality offensive linemen. You know, something that I've been seeing that I think is good, it's not right, and we need to switch it off or whatever. I haven't seen that. So that's where it's kind of like, you know what? I mean, and I hate it again talking about him. But then extending him, and I feel like they should have waited. Now, this is a House Hall thing. This is a coach and the GM being in the same timeline. But I just felt like it was a huge mistake. You can still fire him and just pay him. It's not like it's going to hit your cap. That GM money doesn't count on the cap. You don't have dead weight from GM contracts on your cap. But yeah, that's just me stepping off the soapbox talking about personnel and how it bothers me. But great win, particularly going into a bye. It was a great win for them. Particularly also just being that it was a shitty game. Like, you gotta have to pull out shitty games.
Yeah.
You know, and that I think
1983, Ken. 1983. You gotta win ugly.
Yeah, you know. And for Ben Johnson to be able to do it, because he's learning. He's never been a head coach before. You know what I'm saying? He's learning this too, and he's growing, and he's picking
how
up
much of it's put on him because he's changed the culture to this point. He's always talking about it. As you saw that post-game speech,
I think I've said this on here. He's the most important thing. And it'll be a while. He can make some. It'll be a while before I move off of him. I think just looking at how well he was as a coordinator, but also the fabric again, established and run. Like, yeah, I can do all this hijinks and razzle dazzle, but his foundation is beating your ass. First, I'm going to hit you in the mouth, and then we're going to try to spread you out and gas you for a lot of yards too with our run game. You know, it's not just a finesse run game. It's a power run game that can also use space and also athleticism to get a chunk of yards. You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot is on him, and he's done nothing to this point where I'm like, he's been a mistake. It's still early. He doesn't seem like, because a lot of times you talk about offensive coordinator, talking about someone who hasn't played in the pro level. You're worried about how they connect with professional athletes. You're worried if they're too cerebral. I think some of the things when you think about Mark Trestman was partially he was a tad bit too cerebral. And Ben Johnson gives you Ben Johnson gives you that. No, I'm a football guy too. So I think he's more important than Caleb. I mean, if Ben Johnson is not who we believe he is, Chicago's in a lot of trouble because all the shit is gonna have to get redone again. You know what I'm saying? Like, he to me, seems like he can be a stabilizing factor, but not just a stabilizing factor, a multiplier. And I'm interested to see what they do. I'm interested to see what Dennis Allen does after this break. You know what I'm saying? And I'm putting this on Ben Johnson too, because I hope he's not the type of guy where, even though it's Dennis Allen's defense, I'm hands off, because you're too much of an excellent offensive mind to not tell him what you've been seeing offense do to his defenses. Like you're too. You have to tell. Like particularly, we talk about running. One of your fortes, like something has to stop here, because the motherfuckers are not where they need to be. Like regardless of how. Look, first of all, when we're talking about running, we're not talking about. We're definitely talking about penetration. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But we're not talking about, okay, I got this stud lineman, and he's this athletic and he gets to the quarterback. This is filling in your spot, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like hat on hat, and then it's the open spot. Your ass linebacker, whatever, should be, or DB should be filling in that hole. It's broken from the rooter to the tutor. You know what I'm saying? And that's where they need to figure out what the fuck is, because even if they're not stout, they should be better than what the fuck. Ashton Gentry, look, we all knew Ashton Gentry was gonna have his best game as a professional player. We seen it. No, we seen it. We knew it was like, damn, Ashton Gentry is about to get his numbers up. It's nothing worse than in any sport you've ever played, someone thinking, man, I'm gonna get my numbers up on you. There's nothing worse than like, man, my numbers have been stale, but when we play Chicago, oh man,
it's like Mike. It's like Mike and Byron Scott go, Byron, you playing today? He's like, no, who's guarding me? Peeler, 50.
Right. Clearly I'm getting 50 on you. Clearly. Like that's the thing, man. And now they're that team where if you're like, dude, I'm running the fucking ball, we run the rock. I mean, we're gonna exploit it. And then it just leaves everything to be open, because in all fairness, how can we really get you in the pass game if we can't make you a one-trick pony? You know, if you're able. Let me
tell you something though. There were a lot of plays yesterday that they stuffed. They stuffed the run when the defense needed to step up.
They did. You're right. But that's the beginning, Shawn. Props. That's the beginning of when the turn starts, where you're getting your ass beat, but then it's bend, don't break, and then you start not even breaking, and we're not even bending as much. You know what I'm saying? Because and that's where, again, when I say there are green flags here. And my bias, I'm looking at it, but you see game on the line. You see that this would be a problem with Caleb. If we didn't see Caleb, and again, I'm not the Civil War is over or whatever, right? So I'm not bringing it up as a debate. If some of the problems with Justin is fourth quarter was the problem with Justin, where your quarterback has to take you down the field consistently in the NFL in the fourth quarter. It can't be it's this, it's that. Hey, you can have two tramps and a whatever. Y'all better at 11. Y'all better get out here and play. You know, I know I ain't got studs, but when you see, and the reason I'm bringing this up, that Caleb can consistently either score when they need to in the fourth quarter or get them in field goal position, which that hasn't been really a problem now. There's been some other issues that he has to grow, but you see that he can do that. That's learning's half the problem, and that part you feel good about. So it's things to feel good about. I feel good about their quarterback. I feel good about their receivers. I would love to have seen what Colston Loveland was really supposed to do. I'll say this. I think it's a knock on Ben Johnson. I think Ben Johnson, and I think it was too early for him to call shots at the draft. I know it's his team. He runs Ryan Poles. But I wish you had a general manager that can be like, you know what, at this position, I don't think we should take a tight end, because you didn't even use Colston Loveland enough. And I know the Luther Burden situation is somewhat different because they were looking at going running back. So it was like, damn, the running back's gone. I guess, look, explosive player, we'll take Burden. And I know the last game and a half, because this game he was kind of used, the game before he was really used, you drafted this kid. And again, it's not to say that just because you draft him, everything has to be implemented, but you're supposed to be showing us the reason why, particularly is high, particularly when it's not like you got a ton of guys ahead of them that these guys haven't been necessarily used properly. So that was just kind of how I feel when I'm going over my bullshit in my head about what's good and what's bad about the Chicago Bears.
Well, I think that one of the best parts about it is that they were able to come out of it. Like you understand, like even when this reinforces the fact that you don't have to play a great game.
Mm-hmm.
You can play a crap game, okay?
Right.
As long as you stay true, all right, and fall back on your fundamentals, you still got a shot. You know, winning, and that's the thing, winning ugly. And the thing is, you gain confidence, so they're going to be sharper coming back in Washington. But if there's later in the year when they play another shit game, because they're going to, it's just the law of averages. Right. You're not going to be, oh man, the mindset's not going to be, oh man, we're not running, we're not passing, we're not doing this. Oh, it's going to be a tough one. No, they're going to say we've been able to grind through this, get a W. Okay, despite the fact of this, and this, and this, despite the fact that Cole Kmet had drop passes and fucking and pre-snap penalties, you know, despite the fact that we couldn't stop Ashton Genty in the first 3 quarters, all right, despite all that fact, when it's time to, when we had to, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, 4th and 1, we stopped them, made them punt, made them kick a field goal. We stopped them late in the game when we needed to, and that builds confidence. And because the only way you really get true confidence is by doing shit. Because a lot of it's just fake. I believe myself. I know I can do it, and you don't know shit because you haven't done it. But when you do it, you're like, oh, okay. So it happened before. I can do it again. Bet. Now that they know they won an ugly game, they know that if they're in that situation again, it's not going to be foreign to them. Or not going to have negative thoughts running through their head like, oh shit. Now, like, remember like the Raider game where we lost. This is all building the foundation for this team that I like, and the grit of their head coach is one that I really like. And I think for him too, you talked about him being, you know, a young coach, Ben Johnson.
Go ahead.
You talk about him being young. He's going to learn he's learning how to win these gritty, crappy games too, because coaching in these games is different than coaching when you're either in a shootout or you're in a blowout. You got to it's a different thing as well. So I think it was, all in all, everybody benefited from that crappy win because it got momentum going. We got 2 in a row, but also it showed them how to win differently in this type of affair.
In the first quarter, it sounds negative if you're saying we're 1-3 compared to we're 2-2. Particularly when you're ending the first quarter. Right. With the bye, you're ending the first quarter with the bye and a rookie quarterback from Minnesota. I'll say this too before we get up out of here. Getting that extra piece of Ben Johnson, and this is one of the reasons why I love Ben Johnson and want him to be the Bears head coach, because we really haven't had an offensive-minded coach like this. The fake fucking free flicker. Oh my God.
Oh, the stumble?
Right? Dude, to know the stumble that Jared Goff did last year versus us, and to have the fake flea flicker was
yeah. That's 2 different plays.
Yeah, chef's kiss on the fake flea flicker like that, because you see it and it's like, wait, I don't think it was. But when you think about it, you're on the field and you see what it. Regardless, it's going to make you pause. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to make, regardless if you don't see the ball there, and that's if you have an angle to see the ball, it's going to make you sit there and think that. And it's just having that type of guy, but also having that guy that likes to punish people. Because you can have that guy and he doesn't believe in running the ball, or he doesn't believe in situational running. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like everything's lopsided. It's not synced up. The offense is synced up, the passing game and the running game. But when you have that guy that's a beat your ass running guy that also can do trick shit like that to get the ball, get chunk plays, man, I can't wait to when the offensive line is really good and they all know his system. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where maybe at the end of this year, and definitely we should have it by next year. But when they know his system, and now he's building upon the shit rather than still teaching them the same shit. Because once it's like, all right, you already know this play, but we're going to start doing this because they expect that when we're doing this type of play. When you can start doing that and have multiple plays out of the same positions, plays rather, that's what I'm looking forward to. But look, good game. On the road, even though it was a divided house, it seemed like it was more Bears.
It wasn't divided, dude. My guy, one of the smoke fellas was there, KDL, Kevin Lauder. He was like, man, it's about 70% Bear fans.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It seemed like a quarter of Raider fans were there. Like, those damn tickets was up. They was like, they want them? Yeah, look, think about it. If you lived in Los Angeles and you bought season tickets, you're probably like, I'm only going to like 3, because particularly if you're not even a Raiders fan, I'm selling the hell out of these tickets, right?
Rabid fan bases like us. How much? $600 a ticket. I'll take 2.
Exactly. Like, yeah, but that's good, man. I'm happy they pulled it off. And it's like I'll end with what you said. It's a learning lesson, and it's a positive one. I think it still could have been a good one, but it would have been like, morally, it was good, but like they won. I mean, they got out of there with a W compared to an L. So that's even better.
Yeah. Dude, great stuff, man. I appreciate it. Let everybody know where they can find you and your work online.
That's Davis. Be posting soon. And if you hate it, just still like it and just, retweet it or whatever. Everybody be safe in the chat. Shawn, you be safe, man. Tell your moms what's up, and I will holler at you guys in the upcoming weeks, man.
Bet. Hey, real quick, 19-game improvement. I was talking about it. Like, you can sit there and it's all about perspective. You say the Sox still lost 100 games, 102 losses.
No,
19-game improvement.
No, that they seem to have a direction. They were rudderless for a long time.
Yes,
right. But also, they seem like their talent. They got some quality talent to where there was questions. They also seem to be still good at some of the things they've been good at in the past, and that's with finding guys that were on the scrap heap and turning them into something. Maybe players they keep, but also players they can trade. Particularly with the Sox have always been good with fixing pitchers. You know what I'm saying? Either through the ones they drafted or ones they bring in, and they seem to still be able. And that's a quality you can use to trade, but also to build your own team. When I hear the record all the time, I'm like, it's still, when you think about how bad they were last year, because you can't make that type of leap in baseball. That's crazy in baseball. I'm not saying it'll never happen, but that's crazy to be that bad unless you had like a bunch of all-stars coming out of the farm system, and then you traded,
and they all hit. And they all hit.
They all hit, right? So Shawn, I'm with you. I feel a lot better about them than I have. We'll have to see next year. Do they take another step?
Let's get our next Tuesday, $5 Tuesday date ready.
All right. Dude, wait, it's over. It's over though. The season's out though, right?
Yeah, season's over. But I'm saying next year we gotta get our $5 Tuesday.
For sure, dude. We got to get a couple of those next season and or whatever. But
I'm glad it's $5.
Oh yeah, dude. I smelled the onions walking into the stadium. You said it was $5, man. I was like, I'm gonna just get $2, man. Dude, you didn't. And that was like the beers are $5. I had a beer while I was walking and grabbed another beer to come sit down with. I was like, hey, what? I'm not getting up again. So right, it's fine. I spent $20, dog. Was full and had a decent buzz on at the game. All right, hanging out with my guy.
Dude, great stuff, man. We'll talk soon.
Later, Shawn.
All right, bro. Man, that was Ken Davis. My man's in them. Dude, hey, great stuff. I want to thank you guys. 2 hours of coming and gone. I want to thank you guys for a lot of love and support, man. Hey, happy Bears Victory Chain Monday. Bears Victory Monday is awesome. Victory Chain is awesome. I love it. Man, I'll be back on Wednesday. Cub fans will be talking about what happened to your boys. All right, we'll still keep talking Bears on Wednesday. But I got to go pick up the warden. All right, she gets out at 11:30. By the time I get there, she'll probably still be waiting for me. But anyway, guys, you have a phenomenal day. All right, Second City Sports is going to join us at 12:15 for more Chicago sports talk. But until then, all right, hit that like button. And I will see you guys on Wednesday. Your boy, the SuperBack. I am out.
Come on, race the race.